bless America!
Can you name the artist?
Jimi Hendrix.
No. That was Metallica.
Oh, really?
Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield.
Didn't Jimmy do that, though? Jimi Hendrix had to have done it.
Yeah, and everybody loves Jimi Hendrix's version of it, and it was the first, so that's why people love it. But, I mean, that was pretty damn good right there. That was to mark a tradition for the Giants that Metallica has played the national anthem every year for the last 8 years during a game during the course of the season. So they did it from their studio the other night. The thing I love about this pandemic is it teaches everybody who is super duper popular in their field that is used to adoring fans being there at every turn what it's like to be a radio disc jockey. Because they just finish up and they're like, all right, that's good.
Well, good morning, everybody. That's Jeff. Picking the music today. I'm Jeremy.
Everybody knows what it's like now. Like, even the guys, like when they did the drive-in concert, they were done with the concert that they pre-recorded, and it was like, okay, all right, cool. No cheers, no nothing.
That's what it's like to be a radio disc jockey. We play songs, nobody cheers for us, and we just move on with our day.
Every once in a while, we can make Brian laugh. That's it.
Brian's a smart guy.
That's our end goal.
He's a witty smart guy.
That's what we aim for.
How great is it, though, being a Bay Area fan of anything, though, because you've got all this talent up there, music-wise. I mean, you got Huey Lewis in the News playing for the 49ers. You got the Metallica playing for the Giants. What? Come on!
I wouldn't put the two in the same.
I would.
But that's fine.
Obviously, I just did. But, I mean, and it goes on from there. I mean, Tom Brady's from the Bay Area. Who else is from the Bay Area? Well, come on. I mean, we could go on and on, I guess. But
if you were to stack...
Not a bad place.
If every major sports team in every major market, and you took the musical talent from those markets, and who would have the better Star Spangled Banners? And I'm talking over history. Based on their musical talent. I'm
going to need help with this. I only know West Coast. I don't really...
I would say Detroit would because of all the Motown influence. Like, there would be so many good renditions of the Star Spangled Banner because of Motown's influence.
What about...
Or maybe Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee,
yeah,
baby.
Maybe Nashville.
Nashville with all the country.
I feel like the Titans get their pick of artists because they're like, hey, you want to come down and sing for...
But are they just getting the young kids that are trying to make it in Nashville, or are they actually getting real Nashville artists?
They could get anybody they want, really. They only have 8 home games a year. So they could probably get
Texas?
Garth Brooks if they wanted to.
Where is the Texans out of? Are they out of Houston?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is there a lot of talent in Houston that I'm unaware of?
No, I wouldn't say Houston. I'd say Nashville or Austin, Texas.
Yeah, but there's no franchises.
But and that's quite a ways, isn't it? That's a big.
Yeah, it's closer to Dallas.
Yeah.
But yeah, my initial thought was like, oh, Seattle had a great '90s, but that's about it.
Seattle had a great music scene. Obviously, L.A. When you're forgetting about L.A. and all the talent that comes out of L.A. Whether it's
that's fake talent,
classic rock to hip hop.
But they moved to L.A. to make it big.
Well,
so where are they really from? Like,
where did they start?
In Poison's instance, they're from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
Never heard of that.
So,
never heard of Mechanicsburg.
While they might rep Los Angeles, they are from Mechanicsburg.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Online, KZMZ.com. You can listen live there. You can jump on the Red Zone Challenge brought to you by Donahue Tech Centers and Fred Bruin, our Central Coast realtor. Win $25 each week to Pappy McGregor's up in Paso Robles. Get your free grub. You can also be our Red Zone MVP. You pick your favorite classic rock band when you make your picks. If you are a weekly winner, then you will get to hear favorite songs from your band 4 times a day, 8:20 in the morning, 12:20 at noon, 5:20 in the evening, and 7:20 at night. All you have to do is pick more games right than anybody else. We have $500 up for grabs from Donahue Tech Centers, and we have a trip for 2 to Hawaii as well. All you have to do to play to win, be like our buddy Jose, is just make your picks. Get over to KZOZ.com. You can still sign up because they drop your worst 4 weeks. It's the Red Zone Challenge, KZOZ.com.
Yesterday, you were telling us about a guy you knew that ate corn syrup on his pancakes, and then you attributed his early demise to the fact that he ate corn syrup.
I don't have any proof on that, but I'll tell you this. I met the guy. I didn't know him that well. I really only hung out with him one weekend. We were up at a cabin in Idaho, and so his old man is making us breakfast, and it's the old man breakfast, but it's pancakes and it's bacon, and he brings out the syrup, and I've got the real, maple syrup in front of me. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to have that. And there's some corn syrup on the table, and I thought, well, maybe they just left it out. And then his son picked it up and put it on his pancakes. Clear Carol corn syrup. Unfortunately, he died later that year.
Coming up,
of a heart attack.
Coming up, I want to tell you about a 54-year-old man that met his early demise because he loved one kind of candy too much, and they are attributing to his overconsumption of this candy to his death. So you might want to stay away from it, at least in mass quantities. We'll tell you why coming up.
Wake up. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
So I'm not going to accidentally die because of this, because I can't stand this candy. It's terrible. It's the worst candy. It should have never been invented. And maybe since we live in a state in which the government likes to try to control everything, there'll be a measure on the ballot next year to eliminate this candy and eliminate.
We don't need to start eliminating candy. The government doesn't need to tell us what we can eat.
Another choice from our arsenal of choices that we have as people that walk the planet. Now, this man in Massachusetts loved black licorice.
Oh, that is definitely an acquired taste for black licorice that I think went out the door about, I don't know, maybe 3 decades ago.
54-year-old man ate a bag and a half of black licorice every day for a few weeks. Okay. So
a bag and a half.
A bag and a half of black licorice every day for a few weeks. He ultimately died from it because apparently there are chemicals when consumed in large quantities that are in black licorice that can cause hypertension, hypokalemia, metabolic alkalosis.
I don't know what
fatal
most of that
arrhythmias
means.
And renal failure.
It all sounds, when you start saying hyper, that it has something to do with your heart. Yes. And blood pressure, I know, is hypertension. So, and renal failure is kidney failure, right?
This guy died of a combination of all of those.
Wow. Just from eating licorice, huh?
Just from eating a bag and a half of black licorice every day.
See, I thought
for a few weeks. This is just 3 weeks.
I thought you were going to say he went into a diabetic coma from all the sugar, but it has nothing to do with the sugar.
No, this is just 3 weeks. 3 weeks to death. A bag and a half. People had a hankering.
People have been smoking a pack or more of cigarettes a day for 50 years and don't die. You're telling me that black licorice could be more toxic to your body than a pack of Marlboro Reds?
If you have a pack and a half a daily addiction to licorice, it is far more dangerous for you than it is if you have a pack and a half addiction to Winston's.
Wow.
That is crazy. Let's be real with people.
Let's be real.
Work with them at home on demand by subscribing to Jeff and Jeremy in the morning, wherever you get your podcasts. All the benefits of working with them with none of the smell. Oh, somebody light a match. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.